is a Gibson Les Paul. It's a real one this time. It's a CM. And for those of you in the know, the CM is sort of more of a straightforward, simple style. Lovely guitar though. Bone nut, rose. Oh no, it's not rosewood. What do they call it? It's a different. I'll put it up later on. It's not called rosewood. But there's one problem with this. Somebody has screwed with the paintwork. Made a real mess of it. The dinges and dents, and I think they tried to take it off. And then they put a cheap coat of spray paint over the top of it, which is uneven and patchy. And you can see parts of it are shiny, parts of it are breaking through. And my understanding is that there should be none of that, and you should be able to see slight bits of the grain through the black. Not like the back, it's a solid mahogany, but the back's a little different from what the front should be. But anyway, I think I'm going to have to sand that to find out what's beneath it. The neck has got a few not too bad chunks out of it. And it's a genuine 2016 Gibson made in Nashville. Made in the US of A. And it's got the lovely deluxe tuners on it. And everything is lovely on it. I use the word lovely too many times. But it is nice. It's just somebody. Of course, the neck too. We'll look at it in more detail as we go along. But somebody did that. Now, if I can't fix this mess, the owner said I have permission to wrap it. And if I wrap it, I might wrap it in carbon fiber. So it would be carbon fiber wrapped. But I want to see what's beneath all this before I go that distance. There's just a little light on the tunnel. No need to celebrate yet. But what's happening is acetone seems to be taking off the paint. I'm not going to go near this. I'm going to strip it. I'm just doing this one area. It looks like they used a sort of cheapy spray on it, which is good. And it's taking off the paint and bringing it back to the semi-black finish, taking off the black. But why I'm saying let's not celebrate yet is you don't know what the person was trying to hide. Maybe there's something under all this that needs to be hidden, and he tried to hide it. You can see it's coming off the acetone. I'm just doing this to let you see that it's coming down to the stain style that Gibson originally put on this. This was a limited run of 2015 guitars, but it became so popular that they decided to put a second run out in 2016, and ever since then it's been doing very well. I've got pictures from the internet which show the way it should look, and I'll probably put them up in front of you to let you see it. I'll need to find out what finish is actually on it, but as you can see, if I can get it down to that, and if there's no really messy big grooves or dents in it, that looks very like the way that Gibson wanted it to look. So maybe the owner may not need a skin, and we'll see. But acetone, I'll need to put some gloves on now. And the smell of it's making me high. Hey, worse than higher than before. So, okay, well, when I strip this guitar, I'll do the whole top. And if I can get away with it, I only want to do the top. I don't want to do the sides. I don't want to take that off, because if I take that off, I'm going to affect the shine on this. So we'll see how it goes as we go along. But that's a little bit of light. Okay, excuse the noise in the background, but I'm boiling some cabbage in the little pot, which is going to make me some nice vegetables to keep me thin. Right, going to get the clothes off this thing and just chop away. And Georgie girl is sleeping. She's sleeping in the bedroom, right? But so I'm not going to let her hear the string is being cut. cut them so softly that she wouldn't even notice they were cut. Here she comes. Hello. Yeah, I thought you'd hear the strings. Where were you? Oh, do you want cuddles? Right, okay, you can have cuddles if you wish. What would you like? Would you like some cuddles? Are you sort of half decided about it? Because I'm stealing your strings? What do you say? Are you half decided about cuddles? No? Okay, I'm happy if you're not. If you're happy, I'm happy. You happy? No, I'm happy if you're happy. Can you see Georgie girl? Show the people your face. Show them your beautiful face. Look. Right, going in the bin. In the bin. Right. Now, these clothes have to come off as well. And the knobs have to come off as well. And is it painted around? I can't tell. Excuse me. Right, okay. Right, okay. Let's strip you down. Get you a pot. This is a Z wired humbucker. Now I'm sure that means something important. It's a Gibson Z wired humbucker. And by the way, it is a rosewood neck. I thought it was some other make of wood, but that was a guitar before this. So many guitars passing before my eyes that I often get mixed up. Never sometimes. I often get mixed up. So it says SE LPC M16 on the Mahogany. I'm sure that means something to somebody. But before I take all this stuff off, I may have to take the back off to get these nuts removed. It'd be nice if I took off the bolts and they just fell into a little hole, and then I can remove the paint without having to take the back off at the moment. Although I'm going to be taking the back off eventually. No, they're not going to fall into the little hole. So I have to take the back off now. Right? There's no plug on that, so it's going to have to float around. Nicely wired. They do have this shielded wiring. Very nice job. The back looks a bit like the wood you get in IKEA. You know, the black desks and stuff like that there. But it ain't. It's mahogany painted black. I see a black guitar and I want it. Oh, look at the neck. I just noticed that about the neck. There's a whole lot of staining, so he must have stained there. I noticed this on the top, but I didn't notice it on the back. Let's hope I can do something with that without a whole lot of hassle. Did he paint the neck? He may have done. We'll see in a second. Hopefully that is not a thing that I'm not hopeful. Let's just see. Right. So it's a nicely painted job, nicely wired job, simple but with quality. So why are you not coming up? Oh, you've got an earth wire there, have you? Going to somewhere. So I'm going to have to I don't want to have to take the earth wire off. Just want to slide that out so I can get paint beneath, so I can get scraping at you. No, it's not going to happen. I'm going to have to take the earth wire off and then resolder it back on again. But before I get the soldering kit out, I want to look at this neck, which I didn't spot, to see if that's a problem, and I think it is going to be a problem. So I'm going to use some white spirit on it just to see if it'll come off. Oops. Or did they do the same with the neck as they did? That's not going to come off. So did they do the same with the neck as they did with the back of the body? I don't know. Well, maybe I do. The top head part is matte finish, and so whoever decided to do the neck made it gloss finish. So well, we'll see what I can do. Right, okay. Disappointment prevails. Okay, let's try it off. The neck is a difficult place to do as well. Yeah, you can see down at the bottom that it was matte finished. Alright, okay, let's just see what we can do with it. I'm going to let it sit and dry for a while. Yeah, alright, okay. I can breathe a little bit easier now because it comes off really easy with some acetone. Where it ends is hard to tell, but it's coming off. The one worry I have is what happens when we get to the edge. Of course, you can see it's not very well taped off, but we'll see. I'll have to probably use a cotton bud Q-tip to take off along the edges, but at least it's coming off with acetone. I'm going to have to put some gloves on these acetone things sometime, but I think what he's done is he's sprayed the neck, but he hasn't put a lacquer coat on the neck, and he's put a lacquer coat on the body, so that's why the neck is coming off so easily. But the paint is coming off so easily on the neck. But you can see, there you go. Let's just see what's happening at the edge. I think I'm okay at the edge too. Anyway, better than what I thought. I was thinking a whole lot of hassle. Okay, but that is the whole thing removed. All that Glar paint that was put on it. Now, we have a couple of issues, but are they issues? The way they shape the guitar is that when you carve it down like that, you're leaving the ends of the wood open a bit. So when you put stain in, the stain's going into the ends of the wood. So that's why it's darker there. Don't worry, I've tried everything to get out. And that could also be the case with some of this, but it's patchy. But is it meant to be patchy? Does patchy look good? What I'm thinking of doing, and I've done a little test here, using some black stain, right, with some soluble crystal clear lacquer and mixing the two together and trying to apply it there so it doesn't completely hide the wood beneath it, but it will give it a sort of a seal. But does it need a seal? I haven't made a decision on this yet. The neck, I think I'm going to have to spray because it was too much of a mess, but I'm not sure. What I'm tempted to do, because sprayed up there, I'm tempted to put a little gold band around there, paint a little gold band around there and keep the neck natural, because it's a much faster neck with the natural finish on it. So some thinking to do, not sure what to do. Right, I'm going to try something which I have never tried before and which I have never heard of before, but it's something I think might work. I briefly described it in the other part of the video. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put some crystal clear interior and exterior lacquer in this little jar. Can you see it there? And I don't need an awful lot because it's going to be wiped on. It's going to be wiped onto this. Okay, I'm still not sure if I like this or not. So I'm going to use some black stain in it. Maybe to bring the wood colors down a little bit. And it'll also thin out this. And let me just make sure. And so I have a popsicle stick here. And this has been, I've used it before, hard and durable, crystal clear, cross-linked protection, whatever the hell that means, fast drying, and protects a wide range of surfaces. So what I want to do is have a sheen on this, not take away the wood behind it, and not spill it all over the bloody place like I'm doing now, and then just wipe it on the surface and see what happens. So I'm going to just put my little machine in there and do that. And I'm going to wipe this on the surface. I'm not painting it, as you can see. I'm just wiping it on, and it dries ultra fast. So what it's going to look like, I'm not sure. I may end up having to take it all off again. But what I'm trying to do is just give this thing a bit of a sheen without any... There's the cream man, ice cream man. Buy me a poke, mister. I don't know what part of the world you're in, but buying a poke is buying a ice cream cone. So I don't know, do I like this? I don't know. I don't know if I like it or not. There's the Pokemon still. Very difficult to know when to stop because it dries before I can get there. But I wanted to. And I wanted to add a couple of coats, and it's so fast drying that I'm not too worried about going over the edges because I can take it off quite easily because it's soluble. Right, so whether I like this or not, I'm not sure, but I'll soon find out when it dries off. Let me just... Do I like it? It looks okay. It looks okay, but looking okay and giving me the finish I want is not the same thing. Let me just take away that up there. I don't want any brush marks, and I don't want any streaks, and I don't want any... And if I get them, I may have to just take it off anyway. Let's just... Okay, what do I think? What do I think? Do I like it or not? I don't know. I think it's going to take another coat before I decide. So I'm going to leave that there and try to balance that in there. Let it sit 15 minutes and then come back to it again and see what it looks like. Okay, 15 minutes later, and this has got dry to the touch. And I'm going to do another coat. I just want to darken it down a little bit. I still am not sure whether I like it or not. It looks okay, but we'll see. No guy, there's guys out there saying, no, don't do that, Alison, don't do that. That's not the way to do it. But I have to do it the way that, with the equipment that I have and the stuff that I have. So let's just hope that it comes to the resolution that I wanted. And well, tell you, it's a lot better than what it was whenever I first started. So, but this can all come off. So it's the streaks that worry me most. I don't want streaks in it. And luckily the grain of the wood is going up the neck nicely, so I think I can get away with it. But let's see. Okay. Okay, and up here was the problem last time. The problem with a simplified guitar like this is that if anything is not right, it'll stick out like a sore thumb. There's nothing to hide it. There's no switches or knobs or finger plate or pick guard or anything like that there to hide anything. So whatever I do has to be, you know, done, as they say. I can't bluff it as much as I would wish to in this kind of instance. Okay, I just go around the outsides, take away any drips. Not that I'm worried, because I will go around it afterwards and see. And when that dries, I'll give you a close-up and let you see what it looks like. You go there. Stay there. Be good. Thank you. I think it looks okay. I think it does. There's one little spot there that, and you see when there was one little spot, it'll cause a hell of a problem. So let's just see if I can get that one little spot. Fingers crossed. There's knowing when to stop, but also wanting to make sure that you've covered every little bit that you can. I must admit that that's starting to look okay. It's starting to look okay. So I'll let that dry for maybe another hour, and then I'll let you see it more close up. All right? No, not more. I need to do more scraping. This shouldn't be too bad though. It's very light up there. It's a little bit rough in there, and the rest of it's okay, but it's a bit dirty overall, so this shouldn't take too long. But I'm not going to speak, because you're going to see it in about 30 seconds doing it, and I'm just going to take my time and do it, and I'm going to speed it up. It's mostly especially on this, the fatter side of the neck. I don't know, maybe the person who was doing it previously had, I don't know, concentrated on the fat side more. The fat string side, I should say. Right, okay, now I go back to scraping to get everything back to normal. Hello, Georgie girl. You know I'm talking to the camera, don't you? But you don't. Oh, Georgie girl wants cuddles. Cuddles she gets. She's got wet paws. It must be raining outside. Right, she's climbed up on my neck, and if you hear her purring, that's just her sitting on my shoulder. I think she's going to jump down now. Right, vacuum cleaner. With 600, and then a polish. Frets are fine, I don't need to do anything with them. No. And pickups are good. Right, okay. So now we have to wash. Time to clean and wash, if I can find it. And I'm going to let that sit. I'm not going to do any more tonight. That's 4 guitars I've done today, and I'm getting a bit tired. There are a few things that are annoying in life, and one of them is leaving the knobs on when you spray a guitar. I've just discovered this. I thought it was just a bit of a dull glaze on it, but whoever sprayed the black on left the knobs on when they're putting a coat on, and that's also, as you can see down in there, it's dull as well. So I'm going to replace them. Maybe I'll try to clean them up, take them off, clean them up, but if I can't do that, I may have to replace them. What a stupid thing to do. I'm going to cry. The same thing's been done here. They left this on, and they left the pickups on when they sprayed. Right, okay. This is not only irritating and annoying, it has some dangers to it, because I have to take these knobs off because I've only just noticed they were sprayed, and I have to take the pickups off. Now the dangers to it are that I have these knob lifters, but this gloss paint, I wouldn't trust it to be solid dry until maybe 2 weeks. So using the lifters on it now could damage the paint, and that would take me back to square one. So I'm going to try this. Let me try. I don't want to use my nails. I tell you what, let me just use the cardboard and see if the cardboard might lift it off. Ah, it did, but my knuckles touched the wood. Let's just see if it does it again. Ah, alright, that's okay. Luckily I had that cardboard. But I hate working anything near freshly painted guitars, because the slightest bit of damage slightest bit of knocking can take the layer off until it's really solid dried. I would say 2 weeks before it's really rock solid. It'll dry to touch and all that there, but it's sort of still slightly rubbery. Now I'm going to put that away. I have to clean that on the guitar too, so I'll probably build a little cardboard thing around it. I just use build a cardboard around it and cut out the guitar and then scrape that. Maybe my nail might scrape it, but imagine, don't start me. Imagine spraying a guitar with the bling on it. Oh, drive me nuts. Okay, I'm going to move this away while I clean the bits and pieces. The bits and pieces need to be cleaned. These can be cleaned with solvent because, as you can see, these have got that dull shade on it. They can't use any solvent on those, but I'm not going to bore you to death with me scraping and scratching at it. But that gives you a good example of what it looks like. Where are you? You see the... I don't know where... Yeah, you can see it there. All right. Okay, I think I'm happy with the rest of the guitar. A couple of little touches here and there. You'll see it whenever I finish the whole thing. And I can't get the solder open. Why can't I get the solder open? Because I put it in whenever it was melted, and it shouldn't have done that, silly bugger. Right, okay, all I'm going to do is put the earthing back again. What do I see up there? What is that? I need my other glasses to look closely. Let me just see if that's oh, it's just a thread. I thought it was something that shouldn't be there. Okay, let's solder that in. This was a big lump of solder, so it was a bit difficult to get off. So let's just see if we can get it back on again easily. Let's just see if we can do that. Yeah, let's just see. And I think we have. Let's just look. Yeah, that's on solid. Everything's fine. So just put the plate on and stop the smoke getting into my eyes. So we're nearly at a stage where I can start putting something on. Yeah, start putting the strings on and getting this thing back to normal. So let me just see. Do you know, I think, just for niceness, I think little black screws would be nice there. And I have bought some black screws. Yeah, I bought some black screws. I think I'll change everything on this to black screws because it has a black feel to it. What do you think? Right, where's the black screws? Ah, here they go. Here's the black screws. And it doesn't need much, but I just think the black screws will set it off a little bit better. Oh, come on, I can't get the black screws out of the thing. There we go. Black screws, come to me. You know, I think the black screws are a little bit better than the standard Fender chrome things that they churn out. These little black screws will hold that in nicely and hold it steady. Might even look at the pickups at the front. I haven't cleaned the pickups at the front yet. I have to clean them from the varnish when the guy sprayed it. Right, okay. Oh, I see a little chip there, which I'll have to look at. I'll look at that at the end. I'm being very delicate with this guitar because the front has been sprayed and I want it to get really solid before I start getting hard with it. So, excuse me, I'll switch back to another position. Okay, nice black screws here too. Just keep everything into that sort of mood, which is nice. As I say, I haven't cleaned this yet. This pickup, it's going to be very strange to clean. And do I clean it? Actually, you know, it's a pain because I do know if I start, well, I might actually leave this plastic, not clean it, because that's going to be very difficult to not scratch and around the screws as well, especially. Let me just see, I don't think I screwed that in far enough. No, I hadn't. So I'm just going to clean that pickup I don't even know whether I'll touch that. But how am I going to clean it? Let's try a popsicle stick first of all to see if it'll do it without damaging this. I don't like leaning on that. Let me just create a little thing to lean on. Yeah, it has scratched it, but how do you avoid that? What I think I might do is just put the finest coat of matte on it. Let me just do it. I just happen to have some here. Let me just put the finest coat of matte on it. Now what that is matte hard shell finish. What have you done? What did you knock over? Oh, did you fall? What? You're rattling your cage? Like, what happened? Oh, were you up at the very top? She was up at the very top and fell. Well, I think that's all I'm going to do with that. Put the strings on now and I'll show you the whole thing close up when we're finished. I've put the switches on that I have, and that is the old Gibson switches. I forgot that I tried putting some gloss hardener on it, and it has helped it. But looking at the two switches side by side, it's clear that the switches I put on are cheap and nasty looking. So I'm going to remove them by very carefully. Well, I think I pulled them off last time. Don't think I'm going to be able to do that this time. Right, let me just do a rip here. I'm going to put the Gibson ones back on, even though they were a mess. But I think that the spray has fixed them up a bit. So I'm being very careful that I don't damage the gloss. Where's the other? I can't find the other one now. I had it in my hand a second ago. I had two. Oh, there it is over there. Too busy talking. Too busy talking about my baby. Right, we just do that there. And then take that off. Because the original ones are so much superior to these cheap, nasty clones. Right, okay. And that hasn't done any damage. No, it hasn't. So I'll put on these, back on these tone pots, because I've cleaned them up a bit better. Actually, they don't look too bad at all. But I can see it if you're close up to it. I can see the damage. So that's 1, 2, 3. Right, okay. 10, 10, 10. And these are a much subtler white, which is better. You know, that other white is a glaring white. See the difference? So even though I know what's wrong with them, I don't think people will spot them right away. Okay, now to get the strings on. The strings I'm going to put on. I have one little issue with this. When I put that on, there's one little issue I have with it. This angle makes this look purple. It ain't anything like purple. You know, it's good one actually. If you look at it, you think it might even have a tiny, but the camera makes it look like it's really purple. Anyway, I'm going to put the strings on, and then I'm going to revisit the nut at the top, because there's a couple of little things that I just want to double check. So what kind of strings? Do I have 10s? 9s? Everybody donates to me 9s. Well, guess what? It's getting 9s. Won't make much difference really. Only the most efficient of aficionados, well, maybe too sweeping a thing, but very few people would know the difference between 9s and 10s. 9s, you give you a better bend. Georgie girl's outside in the catio, that's why she hasn't seen me. So the strings go in sort of what you would call backwards, up, over and around. Oh, here she is. How did I, oh, you want cuddles? Are you wanting cuddles? Is that what you're saying? Well, you just make up your decision what you want and I'll give you whatever you need. If you want cuddles, you're getting cuddles. But I need 2 hands for my strings, so you make a decision. Do you want cuddles or not? No? Not yet. Okay. You want cuddles? Is that what you want? Come on, come on, you want cuddles. Oh, she wants cuddles. So, sorry guys and gals, she comes first. I'm quite happy with this, considering that there was a lot of work done to sort of salvage it from the mess that the previous owner left in it. I think it's looking pretty good now. Does not have that sort of tinge of bluish that you see on the camera. If anything, it has a slight tinge of bluishness, which is much less than what this camera is showing, although that could be the screen of this camera. But as you can see, it's all working fine. I'm going to give it a little tune. Let me just turn it on its back to let you see what the back looks like. Now, the back of the neck had been done by the previous owner, and he had put a thick gloss on it, which slowed down the whole neck considerably. So what I've done is I brought it back down to the wood as best I can. A little bit damp there still from my finger. And I brought it into natural wood. That's the best I could do with tapering it. But that's natural wood, but it's got 5 or 6 layers of matte lacquer on it to protect it. But it's much smoother now. If you look at that, you see where your hand sticks on the gloss, but on a fast neck, as they call these, it's very smooth and glidey. Not quite as pretty as I would like it, but it's very acceptable. And over the years, this will wear away into a nice patina. Overall, I like this guitar. It's got a nice action. Actually, shouldn't say it's got a nice action. It's got a fantastic action on it. Took a lot of work to get the action and the intonation right, because I had to go right out to the edge. You see where it was previously with the scratches? Well, I had to bring this right back to get it intonated to the 12th fret. And the same with that. Those scratches are from previous. So the pickups look good, knobs look good, and the whole guitar looks good. Again, as it's only been lacquered with this new type of lacquer, I would let it sit a couple of weeks before I start hitting with a hammer or anything like that there. So I'll give you a little tune now. Well, I have to tell you, I like this guitar. I like the way it plays. I like the way it sounds. It's all tuned up and looking lovely now. But it's got a fantastic pickup. Just listen to that. The sustain just keeps going on and on and on and on. Now that's not even full volume. I had to turn it down because it was too loud to pick up, but this is a little bit louder. Guitar. It holds the sustain so beautifully, and it plays beautifully. must say, oh, I'd be glad to get this one to go home because it's a lovely guitar. And it turned out better than I thought it would do with all the muck that was on it before. So I say goodbye to it now, alright? Oh, I love that sustain. The kind of sustain that record companies hate. Because when they play the last note, it's supposed to die away quickly. But it's still going on. Ciao!